Welcome back to Ancient Domains of Mystery, ADOM. Today I have made a tactical decision, I think. But first I want to see exactly where we were on a couple things. Okay. I am not going to use altars yet. I am not going to start converting to lawful. The reason for that is hopefully today we're going to do a bit of hunting. We're going to find an animal called the blink dog, and we're going to myrtleize it, and we're going to eat its raw corpse. The reason we're doing that is because if you eat a blink dog corpse, you gain teleportation control, which means if we use a spell which we haven't learned yet, that's right, we can learn Equal Bridge. We just have the book. Is that true? Yeah. Or we step on a teleportation trap. We can choose where we are teleported instead of just being teleported somewhere randomly. Do we have plenty of food? We could buy some food. So yes, we're going to do that. The reason I'm going to do that before we turn lawful is because killing blink dogs is a chaotic act, because blink dogs are lawful animals. And I wouldn't want to get lawful, raise our piety up, and then piss off our god. That would be very unfortunate, right? So, we are going to go to the game's main dungeon, the place where most of the action in the game takes place. And we are going to descend through that dungeon. While we're descending, we're going to look for a blink dog, which we can myrtleize. Sounds good? I think it sounds pretty good. If I can remember to purchase my food, that would be even better. Let's see how. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and eat some of that. Alright. Does that leave us with enough rations? Yes. Okay. Something else I want to mention. In the previous episode, I told you guys that the Black Torque contained the essence of chaos, which would corrupt you even if it was just in your inventory. That is not true. Actually, the Black Torque does not corrupt you at all. Had that completely wrong. That is something I've had in my head for a long time. So, don't know why, but it's there, rattling around. We're going to go sell that outlaw corpse real quick. Yeah, you can carry the Black Torque around safely. The issue with the Black Torque is if you wear it, it curses you, and it makes you unlucky, which makes bad monsters more likely to spawn, causes you to take more damage overall. Generally, everything you can do, you do more poorly. It would be great if I could find the sheriff right now before this corpse rots away. There he is. So, yeah, it makes you unlucky. And also, it's auto-cursing, meaning every time you want to take it off, you have to uncurse it. Pain in the ass. In exchange for that, it gives you some elemental resistances, and it also gives you some elemental resistances, and then it also gives you plus 10 speed, which is pretty awesome. Another interesting fact, it is a returning weapon that deals additional damage to undead. So you can actually equip it in your missile slot and throw it. And when you throw it, it will come back to you, so you can throw it again. It deals, as I said, additional damage to undead, which was pretty cool. And I see now we did not equip our items we got from the Druid. Okay. We will have to do that. There we go, we got 75 gold for him. Okay, do we have any boots? Nope. Bracers. Bone bracers turn out to be bracers of toughness. Plus 6 to toughness, very good for a druid because we tend to not quite have as many hit points as we should. We can now clip rings while we have gloves on. I believe the topaz ring was the one the druid gave us. That is Ring of Minor Elemental Mastery. Okay. And then he gave us a necklace that I believe is an amulet of balance. Okay. So there's that. Those are all very useful items. The Ring of Elemental Mastery gives us elemental resistances, which will be a big deal, especially when we go into an area called the Tower of Eternal Flame, since we automatically take fire damage just for being there. So we want to get enough resistance up so that the fire damage does not really hurt us. Okay. We want to carry as much of our stuff as we can to this next dungeon, because the deal with the next dungeon is we're going to be spending most of the game there, so we want to go ahead and have our equipment handy. This ratling still wants to murder me, and I do not particularly want to murder him. I do, however, want to murder these guys. Is there anyone else in here we want to murder? Anyone at all? Okay, so we can get a little extra speed. I'm going to unequip the Girdle of Strength, equip the Girdle of Carrying, which will increase our carrying capacity. We forgot to put our gloves back on. And as you see, having increased carrying capacity gave us a little extra speed because we weren't as burdened, and we could run away from the guy. How much unidentified stuff do we have? Decent amount. So we should probably go ID that on that neutral altar we found. Do we have any? No, okay. We may also want to go ahead and get some holy water. Alright. Let's use a torch to get around all this darkness that was cast by the Druid. We're also going to pick up his slingshots as we go. If there are any left. That's our neutral altar, isn't it? I'm just going to check something real quick. Okay. I like to keep doorways clear, that way if I ever need to close them, I can. If there's items in the doorway, you can't close them. So we need to try on weapons and gloves. Okay. I'll review my equipment here a little bit, just to see what's up. Yeah, I'm going to equip those for the heck of it also. That way if something hits us that would destroy items, maybe that'll be the item that gets destroyed. We could be so lucky. Make sure that's not cursed. I don't think the Topaz Ring is ever cursed, but just in case. Alright. Go with those gloves, they're a little better. I actually want to check and see. Oh, those bracers of toughness were cursed. That's interesting. I want to see what alignment those are. May go ahead and bless a few things. Want to save at least one holy water. So, with that in mind, I think I'll just do the blanket and the bracers since they were cursed. Okay, so this first value is DV, the second value is PV. This value here is 2 hit, this value here is damage. This means we have a -1 to hit, -2 to damage, +0 to DV, and +1 to PV. PV you can think of as actual armor. It reduces incoming damage, whereas the first value, DV, even though it's technically defense value and PV is protection value, you can almost think of DV as a dodge value. So that's how that works. DV is great in the early game, but as you go on, its effectiveness is not as good. So as you progress in the game, excuse me, I'm choking and spilling coffee on myself. It's a great combination. But as you progress in the game, instead of focusing on DV, you will want to prioritize PV. So in general, just focus on the second value over the first value. Also, we want to keep our thick gloves safe by not wearing them and keeping them in our bag, which doesn't protect them against fire right now since we don't have a fireproof blanket, but does protect them from water. We want to do that because there are certain corruptions where we need thick gauntlets to mitigate the effect of these corruptions, and so we're going to keep them safe in our bag and later in our inventory stash while we instead wear these blessed gloves. Alright. And I'm going to go ahead and take the Lawful Amulet and raise us up to N+. That way the Blink Dogs will not drop us as far. Train our spear a little bit. Using a short bow. How skilled are we with that short bow? Not very skilled at all. Do we have a lot of arrows? Not really, but we might want to train it after we train our spear some more. This guy's very dangerous right now because he breathes fire, which could damage our inventory since we don't have a fireproof blanket. Just a waterproof blanket. Oh, there's some of those missing sling bullets. Just want to put her torch out. Yes, there we go. I believe that wolf followed us, didn't he? Yes, which means when we enter combat, he should join us. We feel hungry. Eat an iron ration. Might as well eat another one. Ooh, we maybe should have brought more food. That's becoming apparent. Okay. Hobgoblin Patrol. Yeah, we'll fight that. The wolf did not join us. Huh. Eat that hobgoblin corpse. Let's read this book. Yeah, we'll fight them too. They're no match for us. There we go. Let's try to get our literacy all the way up. And now we're level 13, which means special scroll just dropped. The Papyrus Scroll. I'm going to read that. Reads Heroine, I'm waiting for you. Visit my place in the ancient pyramid for a meeting. Come as soon as possible. The scroll is signed with Reatep. Okay, so the pyramid, fairly dangerous place. It is opens at level 13. Until level 13, you can't enter it. And it only stays open through level 16. So once you hit level 17, it is closed. At that point, you cannot enter it again. You climb to the top, you fight Reatep and a whole bunch of baddies. And he drops two really nice pieces of equipment, the ancient mummy wrapping and the ancient mummy wrapping and the Ankh. The Ankh makes you intrinsically lucky, the opposite of being unlucky. And then the ancient mummy wrappings gives you a whole bunch of immunity in return for lowering your appearance by a lot, which means shop prices go up and you are more easily corrupted. And, oh yes, the Ankh does not just grant you lucky, it also grants you Fate Smiled, which is, like, super lucky. So, always good to have both of those. There are other ways of getting them. For instance, when you're first crowned, they're granted on you until you lose them for whatever reason. But anytime you're wearing the Ankh, you automatically have them. And we're at N+, so we're going to take that amulet off before we accidentally become lawful. We'll eat these corpses. We don't become bloated. Take this gray amulet, take this corpse. Okay, we're going to go up here and sell some stuff off. Alright, what do we want to sell off? These gloves are pretty much junk. We're going to keep the hooded cloak because, as I stated in an early episode, I personally am cursed. My cloaks always get destroyed, and then it starts raining on my character. All of my armor rests to pieces. Happens all the time. Not going to sell any necklaces, even if they're not useful necklaces. We'll keep them just in case we want to transmute them into something else later. We'll sell some junk weapons. Sell that crappy hand crossbow. We'll sell these two crappy short bows. Keep all of our ammunition. Keep all our wands. Keep all our rings for the same reason we keep all necklaces. Keep all of our potions for that same reason as well. Keep all of our scrolls for that same reason as well. Definitely keep all of our books. And normally I'd sell gems, but in this case we get a better bargain by sacrificing them to our god because we're Gnomish. So, there's that. Actually, hold on a second. Yes. Just double checking, making sure we're actually a gnome and that I'm not crazy. How much money do we have? Quite a bit. Let's go ahead and buy this junk for later. Yeah, we are not going to go to the pyramid until we are level 16. That way we are as tough as we can be when we go to deal with it. Also certain items that make that a lot easier, and we want to have them before we go there. Oh, and there's the pyramid. See if the barbarian will give us that quest yet. Would have been nice to have it a minute ago. We already killed a bunch of hobgoblins. Okay, we're still too low level. I think, well, was level requirement 15 for him? Not sure. Okay, so a foreboding tunnel leads into the depths of the world. So yeah, this is the main dungeon in the game. It's where we'll spend most of our time. We're going to grind this guy for arrows. Arrows, 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 rawhide. It's a great song. Glad you all loved it. I am glad you all loved it. See the hobgoblin, of course, while we're standing here before they all go bad. And he's not going to shoot any more arrows, so let's take what he's dropped. Okay. Let's go ahead and drop most of our equipment here. We will come back and get later. Dropping anything that's not identified or that we are not going to need. I'm also going to drop that Axe of Hunting, although it would be useful right now because I don't want to keep it on me till it's blessed. It's just too powerful to gamble with. Actually, I think I know what the glass bonds are, so I'll keep them. I want to throw out there potions of booze have a couple uses. You don't really want to drink them. All it does is get your character drunk. The uses are, if you dip a wand into a potion of booze, it will add a charge onto that wand. If you give a potion to the town drunk back in Trinio, he will give you a random potion. Both those are useful applications. I actually want to see if we can read that Ethereal Bridge book yet. We're not going to read it next to our inventory, though, because sometimes when you fail to read a book, it does very nasty things to you. One example of that is it will cause a fireball to appear around you, which will not only damage you and your equipment, but the equipment around you. Real pain. Not something you want to deal with. Drop that Crystal of Knowledge because we don't want it to get shattered by accident. We will need it later. We're going to come up here. No, I'm going to close these doors. We're going to read this Ethereal Bridge book. Try again. Boom! We learned the Ethereal Bridge spell. Now we can teleport. We only learned 29 castings because it's hard to read. That's why we're going to wait till later for when our literacy is maxed out before we want to read it. Okay. What kind of door is that? Has a square lock. Do we have any keys? We don't. Otherwise, I would try to lock it with a square key. Okay. We will leave that door for now. We will come back to it later when we have more keys. And here's a Cure Light Wound spellbook. Let's read that. Okay. We'll murder him. Murder them. Make sure nothing is getting into our room. Stealing all of our equipment. Take the ration, eat the corpse. I normally wouldn't want to stay bloated because we would want to keep at least a little hungry. That way, if we found a really awesome corpse, we could eat it. But I'm a little worried about food management right now, so I'm going to go ahead and get bloated until we get more food. Brittle Tome, let's see what that is. Cure Serious Wounds spell. Pretty good spell, although if you use Cure Light Wounds enough, Cure Light Wounds actually starts doing more healing than Cure Serious Wounds. See, right now it's doing 2d10. plus 2. So on average it's doing around 12. This is doing 1d8 plus 7. So it's doing, what is that, around 11 points? But you see, as you train the skill and use it more and more and more, and we find a lot of castings to cure light wounds by the end of this game, it starts actually healing more than cure serious wounds because it's not going to be as well trained. This is a pool. I think y'all saw this in a previous episode where I ruined a perfectly good character because I was eating lunch between phases of my job and I needed to get back to work. So what did I do? I drank a pool and it killed me. Pools do random stuff. Sometimes extraordinarily bad, sometimes extraordinarily good. There is a point in the game where you'll probably want to drink pools. But before you do, you want to make sure you have ways of dealing with all the very, very bad things that could happen. Right now, we can't do that. Okay, we've not found the exit to this level. It must be behind this. There we go. Let's milk him for arrows, shall we? If these guys don't kill him, and they may. Claw bugs don't attack us because we're a druid, but these guys are really tough because they ignore armor. To them, armor does not exist. One of the kittens just brought me a piece of paperwork from my job. That was nice of them. You know, I thought I had it in a pile where I would know where it was and it would be nice and organized, but yeah, they wanted to make sure that I had it, and I appreciate that. Always good to see the kittens are taking care of me. Wouldn't be able to take care of myself without them. I really wouldn't. I don't know anyone that can take care of themselves without a cat. Cats are a necessity. Make sure the door's still locked. Or not locked, but closed. And we're about at 30-minute mark. So I'm going to go ahead and close this episode. And next episode, we will be diving into this dungeon and finding out what it holds. And quite a few surprises down here. I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.